Hey drone here, we're out with the M5 Wingsland, and I've noted this camera is pitched a little bit too far down, but we're going to give it a fly. We're going to give the camera another chance here. I am dealing with like 12 to 14 mile an hour wind, so this kind of be a wind flight as well. We already have the app connected. I don't know if you can see the app. It's really tough to see. I'm going to be recording my screen though, so we'll definitely post a video of that as well. So we're going to go over to here, we're going to go into my screen recording, and we're recording. We're going to click our takeoff button. It's going to ask if you want to take off. Well, absolutely, I want to take off. So here we are. The drone is up, and we are going to click our record button on here. We're just gonna take it out a little bit.
This is a 4S battery, and kind of pitch upwards here. It threw on the brakes heavy. Did you see that? It threw on the brakes heavy. You probably saw it in the video too. Let's go ahead and just take this up here. It's not really having an issue with the wind, but again, you can see I'm up, let's see here, height, I'm up 18.6 meters, and we're still pointing towards the ground considerably. .37 meters, it's fighting the wind, and you're just barely now able to see that plateau. There's a bird up there, which we might have been able to get if the camera was positioned right. Sorry, we're gonna bring it back down. It's able to handle this wind, no issues. The camera, again, I'm facing myself, and yeah, we can kind of see myself on there. It is fighting that wind. It is moving. We're gonna bring this down here. So it's leaning heavy into that wind. Actually, it almost seems like it was kind of fishbowling a little bit. And that's where this has the optical flow sensor on it. I'm not sold on the optical flow sensors. We're actually going to land this here. I am not sold on optical flow sensors. And we'll stop our recording on here, and we will stop our video recording.
Yeah, this drone has optical flow sensors. I'm not sold on the optical flow sensors. To my knowledge, the way the optical flow sensors work is once it's a certain height, it throws a light down at the ground. In broad daylight, that light's not going to travel far. So how far do you have to be for it to work? If you're down too low, it won't work. If you're up too high, it won't work. So the Alcenma has these new optical flow sensors on it. There's a drone on Vipin you could get under $40 with the same optical flow sensors, which tells me it's a cheap. It's cheap. Those sensors are cheap. If they're selling a drone for $40 with Wi-Fi camera on it, they're cheap. This drone, I like this drone. I wasn't too happy seeing it kind of fishbowling up there, but again, I'm dealing with pretty high winds, so maybe that's what it was. We're going to go ahead and continue to fly this a little bit more, just to see how she does. We're going to go back into the, we're going to start our screen recording again, and we're going to record, and we're going to go back into the app, and we're going to click Go Fly. Alright, so we are also going to record on board as well. I'm going to click record. I'm going to click take off. Yes, we want to take off. Alright, we're up. Just kind of want to let it sit there and see if it's going to maintain. It is fluctuating a little bit, but for the most part, it's maintaining. We have, let's see, how many satellites? We're connected to 16 satellites, and it's doing pretty good with the wind. You can see it kind of pitching against the wind as it's blowing. It's not really having too much of an issue. So I just want to take this out a little bit.
Take this out a little bit. Right there. See, it throws those brakes on heavy where it almost goes into like an orbit. Alright, there I believe it is sitting, and I'm trying to keep my eye on it while also looking at this. We are 124 meters away from myself. I'm going to go ahead and bring her back. And this is in beginner mode. This thing would go a lot quicker out of beginner mode. I really wish they would have put this camera up a little bit higher. Yeah, when it throws the brakes on in this wind, it kind of orbits a little bit. Not horribly, but just not something that I quite care for. So in the wind, if you're going to brake, if you're going to stop, you're going to need to realize that it's going to do that. And the first time it did that with me, it's a little bit scary. We're going up just a little bit here. We're almost 100 meters up, and we'll pan this way, and we can barely see the small town that I live in. That wind is pitching it. It's fighting the wind. Strong wind here. Extremely strong wind. It's lightly blowing me. Right now, I believe, nope, our app's getting a little sketchy, I think. Maybe that was just the, oh yeah, app's getting a little bit sketchy. So we're going to bring this down. Now it's almost 100 meters up. I mean, it is cold too. So I mean, I definitely had this further than that on a lateral plane, not so much up high. But I had somebody ask me, for a GPS camera drone, is this the way to go? It's not. I'm not gonna lie. I like Wingsland. I like the look of Wingsland. But as far as this comparing to a Bebop even, or this comparing to a Phantom 3 Standard, it really doesn't. The only thing this has on those drones is, I'm gonna say this is definitely a sportier drone. You could throw this in the highest speed setting and really cook. As you can see, it's fighting the wind there. We're just going to stop the recording on here.
We're going to stop the recording in app. Click stop and go back into the app and bring it down, give you a close look at it. I like the look of it. I really do. And again, for 16 satellites, it's doing pretty well in this wind. You can see it pitching heavy now. Look at that. So it's trying, man. Anything under 10 mile an hour, this thing's going to be a lot more stable. Not to say this is extremely not stable, but as you can see, we've lost altitude considerably because it's pitching against that wind. Go back up here. Look at it. So does the GPS work? Absolutely. It's trying to work. As you can see, you can probably see the grass, high grass and whatnot blowing. It's cold out here, it's windy out here, and I think this is doing a good job as far as holding its position. Super windy though. and there is no camera adjustment on this. The way Wingsland has that set is exactly the way it's set, which I'm not too thrilled about. We'll go ahead and, whoa, where are you going, buddy? It just kind of came this way unless the battery's low or something. I think they'd tell me if the battery was low if it's going to land. Now, it can definitely fly in this wind and not be pushed around. No issues with that. But if you're going to just GPS lock and GPS hold, it's going to get pushed around a little bit. It's probably right above 32 degrees out here. So again, it is cold, man. And this is in beginner mode. So in beginner mode, it's handling this wind easily. You throw this in the highest mode, it's going to cut through this wind and not even affect it. We stop. And it kind of shifted that way. It's shifting this way. It's trying to grab the satellite, kind of doing a little toilet bowl. So be aware of that. And then I believe it just grabbed. Nope, it's still kind of toilet bowling a little bit. So I'm going to help it out. We're going to try to sit right here. It's trying to grab those sats. Be a good beginner GPS drone if you're not looking for camera quality. If you're looking for camera quality, this isn't really going to have it. Just for the simple fact that it's kind of, the battery level is low. Please be careful. Okay, so we're going to be careful and we're going to land it. We're going to stop and we are going to land it here simply by bringing it down lightly and then holding down as our cell phone pops out of the spring-loaded case. We're actually going to turn this off. So that gives you a really good look at this drone. I will have the video from this up in a little bit from the screen recording, also from the SD card. Hold this button to shut it off. Red light in the rear goes off. Really neat design, but I think they have. I think they need to come out with another one of these. I think they need to come out with the M5.2. M5.2. Get rid of that optical flow sensor. Also, give us a straightforward camera, or give us a camera like the Bebop that is going to pitch, or put a gimbal on the front of it like the Spark. Guys, I'm J-Drone. Hopefully you appreciate this review. I'm cold. I'm going back inside. Take care.
We are recording. We're going to click our takeoff button. It's going to ask if you want to take off. Well, absolutely. I want to take off. So here we are. The drone is up, and we are going to click our record button on here. We're just going to take it out a little bit.